Thank you for listening to Two Girls, One Plant.
We're your hosts, Madison
and Jillian, and this week we're talking about the plant Armageddon.
Dun 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 dun. We're on fire.
Oh my gosh, this whole topic is ridiculous. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you guys. Okay, let's preface this real quick.
We're gonna talk about some grown adults. We're not gonna name anybody.
We're not gonna name any names. We're just solely explaining our perspective and what we went through with this plant Armageddon. But before we get into the plant Armageddon, let's give an update. What's going on? What's new? How are the plants?
Honestly, with all of the snow, I'm scared to admit it, but I lost a couple things that were just a little too close to the window.
Why?
I know.
How?
Just baby cuttings that were with all the other plants, but just weren't equipped.
Next to the window or something.
Yep, just
got
on the
too
sill.
cold. Oh, that's
I
a
know.
bummer.
I
I'm
know.
sorry.
We're recovering.
Yeah.
How about you?
Well, I went to Tagawa
Exciting.
a couple weeks ago. It was they finally got their first shipment in, and I could not be happier. I'm like, oh my god, this makes me so excited for spring. So it was so nice going to Tagawa, and I got a couple things. And this is something I have not seen in nurseries, but they had sundews.
Oh, really?
Yes, and
That's
a ton of them, and they looked super healthy.
Oh, wow.
So I recently lost my sundew that Amanda gave me when I went out of town because I didn't put water in it before I left, and I came back and it died. So my bad. So I've been super sad since it died, and I've been meaning to ask her for one, but she gives them to people all the time. So I was just like, she won't have one. So I just never asked.
Oh my gosh, she has so many.
I know, and I should still ask her, because she has really, really cool ones. But I will say Tagawa does have them when I went. So that was
cool.
Super exciting, and I got 2 of them, and I think they were $9. And granted, they were only 2-inch little babies. But still, I've never seen them in the nurseries before, so I was really, really, really excited.
Yeah, right. For $9, I could afford to kill that.
Yeah,
right.
Distilled water. That's the key. That's what Amanda says.
Yep, distilled water.
Yes. But yeah, that's what's been going on with me with the plants.
All right, so are you ready to get into this?
Let's get into this fire episode. Okay, so this is kind of gonna be. I know we did an episode talking about rants and stuff, but we're gonna rant about this because this is something that's really personal that did happen to us that we both experienced and went through.
This is something everybody in Denver went through.
Everybody
for some
Denver.
reason, for 24 hours,
Yeah.
the plant community in Denver lost their shit.
Lost their fucking shit.
Yeah.
They didn't lose their shit. They lost their fucking shit.
No joke.
And we're going to be, and disclaimer, there's going to be a lot of swearing in this episode because I really need to let loose.
That's cool. It's coming, you guys.
It's coming. So a lot of swearing.
So we're going to start this with the Colorado Plant Pals, which, as you know, is a group that I run here it started in Denver, and there's over 1,000 people in there now. So it's a pretty decent sized group. Yeah. And this woman posted a picture sharing that her local Home Depot restocked on the Costa Farms Tropicals collection. Now, these are going all over the country, so you can probably see them in your national houseplant groups as well. And they include things like begonia whitey eyes, peperomia polybatras, your raindrop peperomias. I think they have ficus liratas out right now.
Yeah, and then also the Monstera Anisonii.
And the Monstera Anisonii. And the holy grail of this flippin' collection, the Raven ZZ.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
bottom right-hand corner.
I'm going to have Madison give you a little background on why you can only get the Raven ZZs at these big box retailers instead of your local nursery.
Yeah, so recently, the guy who owned a patent for the ZZ Raven plant, he was the only one who was able to produce it and sell it Okay, but he could license it. So we saw like a couple places out of like Thailand and whatnot, like
even Green Lady Gardens got some actually.
Green Lady Gardens, and she got him. Yep. So that was a paid licensing. So if you were to like take a ZZ plant, grow it, and sell it, that was illegal. But patents last for I think it's 20 years. So the patent recently expired. And our good friends Costa Farms came in, bought the rights of the plant, and is now growing and selling the plant.
As the only ones who can.
Yeah. So I think it was like back in October, you could only find it on Amazon.
Right.
Like I remember Mia from BB Plants, she posted a video about it. And I think within like the first couple hours, it completely sold out on Amazon.
Fast. Yeah.
And then there were these rumors of like them being in Florida,
and
like
some Publixes.
Yeah. And people were like,
"There's
"There's no way. Why would a ZZ Raven be in these like Home Depots and like Publix and like in Florida?" And then all of a sudden, a couple weeks ago, Armageddon happened and the bomb was dropped here in Denver.
Right. So we come back to the group and this girl showed the picture that sure enough, they had the Raven ZZs in stock at her local Home Depot. And it's our most viewed post right now. It has like hundreds of comments. Basically, that night, everybody went out to their local Home Depots, and I do feel so bad for all of those employees. I really do. But they went out and stocked all of their local Home Depots, either calling them or showing up to try and get their hands on Raven ZZs because they're the only place you can get them, and they were only $20, which is better than the Amazon price.
Yeah, the Amazon price is like $38 or $39.
Right, which is not, I mean, compared to like $19.98, I think is the price tag on it.
It is.
It's a big difference.
Yep.
So, I mean, people were literally like walking up to Home Depot employees and having them like check the pallets to see if they'd gotten the shipment in and just hadn't unloaded it. Like it was a whole thing. And I actually went to a Home Depot myself, I think the next day, to see if I could find a raindrop peperomia because that was what I really wanted from the collection. So like truly everybody got into the spirit of things trying to find these plants.
Yeah. Because they before would sell for like over $100, like $100 to $200 for this size of ZZ Raven that was being sold in Home Depot. And it's like a 6-inch pot.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
It's a huge plant. Like it's not some baby 4-inch pot. I think it's actually an 8-inch pot if I remember correctly.
It might be an 8-inch pot because I think I have a little like 4-inch pot of Raven ZZ that I paid like $30 for.
Yeah.
When I got it from Green Lady Gardens.
I'm gonna pull it up. I stand corrected. It is a 12-inch pot, and it comes with a planter as well, which is pretty cool too. So 12 inches.
Yeah, it's a pretty big pot.
Yeah, so that's crazy. For $20 in store, or you can pay $38 online, where before this plant was over at least $100.
It was so rare, and everybody wanted their hands on it because it's such a beautiful jet black leaf.
Yeah.
So when Home Depot started selling it, everybody saw the opportunity, and a lot of people just wanted it to add to their collection. As with anything else, because the price was so low, a lot of people also started buying out inventory. So, I mean, a lot of people, because they were so hard to find. So I even saw people buying them just to be able to give them to friends and resell them at cost to friends and things like that, because some people were at work and literally couldn't get to the store fast enough to hit the shipment.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and I think it was like, it was the Arvada one or Westy that she posted about, and then like Glendale, and then the one on Santa Fe, and then Belmar. Yeah. So like over time in the comments, people were giving updates on where they were going. So they'd be like, okay, I just went to the one in Glendale, I saw a bunch. And then, half hour later, somebody would comment, just went to Glendale, there's 4 left. Just went to Glendale, there's 2 left. Has anybody hit up the Greenwood Village one? Has anybody done this? And it was crazy. That all day.
It was crazy. And so here's where our stories diverge. So, like, Madison and I had very different experiences that night and since. So I'm going to start with my half that happened on the group. And these things actually happened at almost the exact same time.
Yeah.
So there really isn't any time difference. Essentially, some guy saw the post in the group, went to his local Home Depot, and managed to buy up a bunch of the inventory for the tropical collection. Immediately went home, took pictures, and posted them on the Facebook Marketplace.
Immediately.
Immediately. Like, he got home, took pictures, and threw them up. Low-quality pictures. He priced them by demand. So most of the plants were priced at $25, which makes sense, honestly, because he paid $20 for them. It's like no margin. And then the Raven ZZs were priced at $35 because that's one that people were really interested in buying. And his description basically said something like, plants for sale. He didn't talk about buying them at Home Depot or the price he paid or anything like that. But remember, this post is going viral in the group, so everybody knows that Home Depot is selling them, and everybody knows the price. So as soon as people in the group saw his marketplace listings, which did not take long, they started to get upset and screenshot them and post them in the group. Now, I did moderate a lot, and so some of those comments have been deleted because, honestly, dead naming him was unnecessary, and saying some, like, mean things about him is unnecessary.
Yeah.
Like, he's just joining the plant hustle that a lot of people do.
Yeah.
I think for me, it was more the lack of transparency. So it sounded like a few different people reached out to him to understand why he was selling the plants, and heard a few different stories from, he found out his cat wouldn't stop messing with them, and so he couldn't keep them, to he really needed to raise the money because he was going through a lot of personal issues that I'm not going to get into. So his stories range wildly, and everybody's talking about his stories in the group, just kind of adding fuel to the fire because they're upset with this guy for buying out inventory. Long story short, this guy ends up leaving the group, and the next day starts sending me all kinds of messages saying he's going to report the group for harassment, and in short starts to harass me about the group and his need to sell these plants because of, again, a myriad of personal issues that I'm not going to get into, that he really shouldn't have gotten into with me because I've never met him before in my life. So I kind of explained to him, that the lack of transparency was the reason that he had been received so poorly. He didn't seem to understand that and basically just blocked me, which I kind of expected. And I don't think he's a part of the group anymore, which is unfortunate. I'd rather he still be in the group. But he really did garner a lot of animosity out of people who were upset that they couldn't get to the store fast enough to add to their personal collection. He was obviously trying to make money off of the sale, and it wasn't even a lot of money to put, like, his reputation in the community at risk like that. It just didn't really seem worth it to not be transparent about where you got the plants, how you knew that the plants were there, and, why you need to sell them. People resell plants all the time. It's really not that crazy. And I've talked to Madison about this. Like, the truth is there's always a market for people that are going to want instant gratification because the plant is available instead of waiting for the next shipment, which might have mealybugs, might come in damaged, might not come in for a few weeks. So there's always going to be people that are going to want to spend the $35 for an immediate Raven ZZ. Like, there's a market there.
Yeah.
It's really just about being transparent with your customers because nobody wants to spend money with somebody that's untrustworthy. You really, really lose your reputation that way. And to be harassed by a grown-ass man who was trying to resell some plants for $15 was, like, way too much. Like, I have never seen grown adults act so, like, impulsively and ignorantly over a plant. Like, it was really crazy to watch that develop in the group, which overall is really kind and really giving.
Yeah.
And while all of this was happening, Madison was also hunting for Raven ZZs, and I was following along in her story, which was actually really fun. So tell us about your plant Armageddon night.
Yeah, so that day was crazy. So I got off work, and I was on our podcast Instagram, and I saw the girl's picture on the Instagram, and I was like, what? Huh? And I read her caption. I was like, what? And so I pulled up the Facebook group, and there it was right there. She posted it in it. And I was like, oh my fucking God, there's ZZ Ravens.
Heck yeah.
I had just gotten off work, 3:00. And I work in Highlands Ranch. So I drove to the Highlands Ranch Home Depot. And I was like, oh my God, if it's at Home Depot, it must be at all the Home Depots, right? So I was like, sweet, this is an early post. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to buy some ZZ Ravens. I was like, I'm going to get some for people and like maybe try and sell some. I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew I had to get there and get them.
It was a rush, man.
It was a total adrenaline rush. So I go to the Highlands Ranch and I was like, hi, do you have this plant? And the lady did not know what I was talking about, had no idea. So I was one of those people who said, I would like to check your shipment in the back.
Because they really all did get them around the same time.
Yeah,
within the same couple of days.
And they didn't know what I was talking about. I said, that's totally fine. Can I see the shipment you have in the back? She's like, I guess so. So I explained to her what was going on, and she's like, oh, okay. I was like, just expect you will be getting a lot of phone calls and visits asking about this. And she's like, okay, yeah. Funny enough, she got my number and said she would give me a call about it, and she did. And she's like, oh, yeah. And it was listening to her voicemail. This was like a couple of days ago. She goes, oh, yeah. And you were right about the people calling and asking about it. And she's like, but it's cool. Like, that's just so fun. Like, they were having a good time about it. Good. So then I was like, fuck, okay, I need to go to Lone Tree. Lone Tree is on the way home. So I stop at Lone Tree, and I was calling all the Home Depots too. I'm calling, I'm Insta-storying, I'm doing all the things.
Yeah, tracking them down.
Tracking them down. You know, being like the almighty God for everybody, giving everybody live updates. And I call Lone Tree, and I was like, hey, do you have these plants? And they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I was like, do you guys sell Costa Farms? They're like, I don't know what that is.
Oh my God.
And I was like, is this the gardening center? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, dear God.
I know, get out. Like, all of your plants at Costa Farms.
That is the most frustrating. How do you not know what kind of brand plants you sell at Home Depot? Anyway, so I get there. I asked to talk to the manager, and they did not know what I was talking about. So I was like, fine, whatever. Swing over to Greenwood Village. I ran into two people from the group, and I saw like a ruby peperomio I was there that I thought about getting, but I was like, no, I'm on a mission, Madison. God damn it. Focus. So I then asked the manager again at that location, and they said that they were not a large Home Depot. They said that the larger Home Depots have a larger gardening center. He said that it was more likely that those Home Depots will be only getting that collection. And I was like, fat fucking chance. I was like, I don't fucking think so. And he's like, well, and so I explained it to him, and he was like, oh, we should look into getting that. And I was like, yeah, you guys like don't understand how much foot traffic you're going to get. And he was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm gonna look into it. So right next to it is a Lowe's,
who's like, also supplied by Costa Farms.
Yeah, so I was like, well, I'm right here. Nobody's talking about Lowe's in the group.
Nope.
Nobody was talking about Lowe's. Nobody was talking about Walmart. So I was like, I'm gonna just swing over by there. Swung by, didn't have it. However, they did have a Hoyo Abavada, and I did get that. Super fucking awesome. Been wanting one of those. So I was like, fuck. I don't know what to do. So I was like, maybe I'll just go home, or maybe I'll swing by the Lowe's by my house. And then I pull up the group again in the comments, and somebody was like, Santa Fe has them. The one on Santa Fe has them. I was like, oh my fucking God. So I get, like, I'm driving, and I call them, and I talk to this girl. I'm not going to say her name, but she's awesome. No, I'm just going to shout her out. Molly, you're fucking awesome. She answers, and she's like, hey, this is Molly. And I was like, hi, do you have this easy rib? She's like, I know what you're talking about. Ooh. Everybody's been coming here and asking about it. I was like, could you be the most amazing person and put some on hold for me?
Please.
And I was like, how many do you have? She's like, I have 3 healthy ones and 1 sick kind of looking one. I was like, can you put 2 aside for me? She's like, I was like, please. She's like, how soon can you get here? I was like, I'm 20 minutes away. I'm literally in 5 rush hour traffic right now, but like I will be there in 20 minutes. She's like, oh yeah, like that's fine. I'll put them on hold for you.
Perfect.
I pull up and there's like 3 people there standing at the thing, right?
Oh my God.
And I was like, are you Molly? She's like, yeah, I'm Molly. I was like, Molly, I called you. And she's like, girl, I got your plants over here. And she like hid them like in the back.
Like a drug deal. Like,
dude.
Oh, you got the stuff? You got what I need?
We were selling those type of plants. So she gave them to me, but turns out they had more.
Oh.
They had at least 8 ZZs.
Oh, holy cow.
So I was like, I don't know what to do. I was like, I need to grab a fucking cart or something. So I went and grabbed a cart and I bought 4 ZZ Ravens.
Yep.
And I bought 2 Begonia Whitey Eyes.
Which is actually really satisfying watching her story because it was like, I'm like watching her jump all over town between Home Depots and Lowe's trying to find these plants. So to finally see like 4 Raven ZZs in her Home Depot cart was like, it was like watching the end of a movie, you know, where the hero finally like wins the game. It was great.
And I ran into some people from the group. Patrick, I ran into Patrick. We both know Patrick. Yeah, that was really cool running into him. And he was like,
he's the botanist.
Yeah, he was like, Madison? I was like, Patrick? And he's like, I thought I recognized your pink hair. I was like, oh my gosh. He's like, I was like, did you get one? He's like, yeah, there was one left. I was like, bitch, I bought 4 of them. He's like, you fucking bitch. And I was like, I know. But I was that person. I didn't know what to do. I was like, maybe I will have them for a plant swap one day. Maybe I thought about raffling them off. Like, I thought about doing something really cool. I was thinking about doing like a giveaway for like our podcast. Yeah. I don't know. There's so many options to do like with them. So I was like, okay, what else do I want to do with this? So somebody in the group posted after I bought all these. I was like, you guys, at this point, I had been in the car for 3 fucking hours.
That was like all she was doing all afternoon while I was moderating the page.
Yeah. So I was exhausted. And then somebody commented, after I got my Ravens, Glendale has more Ravens. I was like, I thought they sold out. I was like, well, you know, fuck it. I'm only like 10 minutes away. I'll fucking stop at Glendale too. So I go to Glendale. They don't have it. Okay, which is totally fine. But they had a really large garden center. I saw a display, and they actually had a double display of it. Oh, wow. And I went up to the guy, and I asked the guy, I was like, hey, you know, can we see if these are available on Home Depot's website, and can you order them for me? And he was like, yeah, sure. So we couldn't find them at first. I was like, no. You have them. I swear to God, you have them. And I looked it up on the Home Depot website on my phone for them. And I found the SKU number. I gave him the SKU number. And we found them. However, here's the issue. Just like on Amazon, it is also $38 on Home Depot's website. Okay. So I was like going back and forth. I asked the guy, I was like, do you price match like for what you sell in store? He's like, no, unfortunately we don't do that. And I was like, I get it. Like, that's fine. So I was like, well, maybe I could order these and people can buy them. If they don't want to buy plants online, they can just come pick them up from me. Right. So then I was like, God, I'm spending a lot of money right now on all this shit for people.
It's a lot of plants.
It's a lot of fucking plants. It's a lot of my time. So I decided to order it, and I did pay for shipping. I did pay for tax, and it was just over $120 for 3 plants.
Okay.
I think it was like $135 actually. So it was a lot of money. They came hella fast. They came in 5 fucking days.
Nice.
Which was amazing. Packaging was like phenomenal in the box. But we'll get to that later. So I had basically 7 Ravens at this point.
Wow, you're up to 7. Okay.
So, and 2 begonias. So I had people reaching out to me. I had 30 DMs.
Holy cow.
Of people being like, when can I pick it up? So I got really overwhelmed because people were like, I'll give you $80. I'll give you $90. I'll give you $60. When really I had just gotten them for people that I knew, or like I said, for giveaways or raffles, plant swaps, things like that. Right. And I was like, wow, that's a lot of money. And so I felt bad because I had somebody I knew was like, yeah, and like he Venmo'd me $20 and like everything. And I obviously returned the $20 to him because I told him, I was like, you know what? I have these people offering me money and like, it's no like thing against you, but like, bro, it's money. Like, sorry, like I'm a greedy person. Like at the end of the day, like why would you pass that up? If somebody's offering you $80 for a plant that you just like got for like, that's amazing. So I later that night followed up with these people and they basically ghosted me.
Oh,
right. I was, if you're listening to this, you can go fuck off and die. Like you're a piece of shit. Like I hate when people do that. So I was stuck with all these plants. I had spent about $200 on just ravens by itself. So I was like, well, I could sell them and sell them for $20. But I was like, how is that fair selling them for some for the $38 and then some for the $20? I'm like, that's not fair. Right?
Right. So you're looking for an average instead.
So I found an average of 35, which I did sell one for 35. A girl came by, picked it up. She was super nice from the group, and she follows me on Instagram. And then I like didn't sell anymore. Like nobody wanted to pay $35 for it.
Huh.
So then the plants came in from the shipment. They looked great. So I have 6 plants currently.
Oh my God.
And so I was like, well, fuck, I don't know what to do. So I did my math and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to see if I mark it up more. So I decided to post on Marketplace the other day.
Which is like the easiest way to sell plants, honestly, in the area.
And I was just testing the waters. Mind you, I paid $38 for the plants online.
Right.
So I have 6 plants, right? So I decided I was going to keep 2 of them. Those are my personal plants I'm not selling. So that's 4 plants that I'm going to sell. So 3 of the plants were online. 1 of the plants was in store. So that's one $20 plant, 3 $38 and some change plants, plus the shipping, right? So I was like, well, how do I make this fucking fair? Like, to sell, but also like I would like to make a little extra cash. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna charge $45 a plant.
Ooh.
Sorry, like I paid a shit ton of money for them.
Ooh, but how did that go?
So, do you want me to read you my DMs I got? I've had people tell me to kill myself.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, dude. Let's see. Somebody said, just curious why you've more than doubled the price on these. And I said, oh, obviously you did not read my description about it. I had somebody say, is it still available? Let's see. I had somebody say, seriously, this is pathetic. You buy them from Home Depot and then double the price. Shame on you. And then I said, please read my description. And then she blocked me. She's also in the group. This other guy, oh my God, he said, come on, give people a chance to buy some for ourselves. I hate it when people go and buy every plant that's available and then resell them. That's pretty pitiful, to tell you the truth. And then he goes, I explained myself, and he goes, actually, that message wasn't for you. I'm sorry. It was a copy and paste, and it was meant for the lady in Fort Collins that bought all 6 of the ones. And she said that was on a stand. I meant to ask you if the bulbs are exposed and if you can clearly see them as if they were mature plants. I'm sorry. There was a lady who literally went today and bought every single plant that they had at Lowe's. And I was like,
so
okay,
you're copying and pasting this message,
but also that's like,
listing?
Like, first of all, you're a fucking dick. Like, how dare you say that to somebody? Like, whether it's a copy and paste, like, you don't say that to people. Like, it's fucking rude. Like, you don't, if you're not interested in the plant, just don't fucking say anything at all. So I am selling the plants for $45, and I'm thinking about lowering the price. But with my math and everything, like, it is the right price in my mind because, like I said, I did pay about $38, $39 plus shipping for 3 plants. So let's say I just had 3 plants. That's how much I would sell them for.
Right.
That is what I paid for them. Right? So, like, if you don't want to, pay for, pay online, I have the plant readily available for you. But I also don't think it's fair. So, literally, I'm making only $25 and divide that, that's $6 profit margin on each plant. Really, it's not even that much money. If I really wanted to be making money, I would be selling these bitches for like $80 to $100.
Yeah, you can't really buy these Raven ZZs to make a bunch of money because they're being sold by Costa Farms. So it's like, it's not a really good plant to flip, like ordering it online. Like, it doesn't really, the math is like killer. It's like really killer on the margins.
Yeah. So I've had a lot of people be really fucking rude about it, and it's like really opened my eyes, where it's just like,
well, that's unnecessary
yeah too. Well, it's like, and it's kind of like you said, like, these are fucking grown ass adults like being dicks about it. Like, don't be, it's a plant at the end of the day. And like after that day, I felt so stupid. Like, of course I was like excited, and I was like really playing into it, and I was like, ZZ Raven Watch 2020, like, and I was really playing into it, and I had like fun with that. But like, also at the end of the day, it's like a fucking plant. And like, I knew like if I hadn't gotten the plant that day, like, I would have moved on with my life. You know, it wasn't the end of the world. But I feel like there's some people who just are so dwelling on people buying these plants.
And that's like the moral here. It's like, it is just a plant. And if you want it now, then you can pay. And Madison would really appreciate buying one from her. You know, it doesn't have muleys. It's already here in Denver, and you can have it immediately. Otherwise,
or make me a better offer.
You know, or make her a better offer. But otherwise,
or trade.
Like, they're being sold by Costa Farms. So I like also want to remind everybody that they will eventually restock, even if it's not anytime soon, because it's only February, and this happened at the end of January. So like, it's not even spring yet, and they are absolutely going to be restocking their garden centers quite a lot this year because houseplants are so popular. Yeah. So don't lose your shit over a plant, you guys. Let's keep it chill. Let's calm down a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. Like, that day was just, it was like funny, but also like, what the fuck?
Kind of
and
terrifying.
It's like terrifying.
Like, it's a little bit of both. It was kind of weird seeing so many adults scramble and play this like citywide game of hide and seek for the Raven ZZs.
Yeah. I will say it was kind of cool going to those Home Depots and like talking to people in the garden center, and I was like, Colorado plant plows, and they're like, yeah, are you? Yeah.
I did think that was great. I did see a lot of people that like met other people in the group.
Yeah, that was cool. Hunt. That was cool. I met a couple like cool people, like I said, and like that was pretty cool. I like that part of it. Like I said, the community, it's the best part, right?
It really is the
but
best
also
part.
It can be the worst part.
Well, I mean, you gotta take the good with the bad. It's a lot of people, so when you have this many people in a community, there's always gonna be outliers and you know, things that happen and people that don't mesh. But it's really just about like keeping a level head and remembering that it is a chill community of people, and you know, we're all here for the same reasons.
Absolutely.
And there's no reason to kill each other over a black plant.
Yeah, for sure.
I promise.
Yeah, and like I think I don't know, it's just it was just really interesting, and like I think we're the wave is starting to go down right now in our group.
Finally dying out
Some
a little bit.
Some people still mention it, like they'll post about it, like, hey, this Home Depot and this area got the plants, like the Home Depot 5 minutes away from my house got them. I'm so fucking pissed.
Of course.
They had it that day too, but I called and they were like, nope, I don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, bitch.
They're coming down the pipeline, man.
They are.
Costa Farms is sending out a lot of plants all over the country. Yeah. So they are restocking.
Yeah. So that is our ZZ Raven story.
Yeah, our very different experiences. kind of watching Denver lose its shit for a day.
Lose its shit.
Now, before we wrap up, I want to give you, Madison, I want to give you your soapbox. I want you to take the stage. I want to hear all about your green spaces order, because I know you talked about it in your story.
Yeah.
We're going to update the podcast. Mm-hmm. I'm not even going to interrupt. Because I've seen the story. My heart is it's been a little crushed. So tell us how your green spaces order went.
Okay, so let's recap, you guys. I ordered green spaces January 3rd this year. On the 16th of January, my order was shipped from Singapore. Okay. It goes, from Indonesia. It went to Singapore, and then it was going to be delivered on the 21st. And on the day before it was supposed to be delivered, the status changed to exception. Didn't know what the fuck that meant.
Weird.
So Googled it. Turns out it could be like further inspection, whatever. So I called customer service at DHL. Again, very important detail of DHL in this, okay? Called them and I was like, hey, what's going on? They're like, oh, it's going through customs right now. Usually it takes about 3 to 5 days and you should have your shipment at the end of the week. I was like, cool, awesome, not a problem, totally get it, that shit happens. That's the risk you take when you order from overseas, right, wrong, fucking dude, no, fuck that shit. So it sat in customs for 2 fucking weeks.
That's so ludicrous, man.
2
That's crazy
weeks. So following week goes by and it's about Thursday. And I get a call from the USDA. Fucking Caesar. Ya fuck. Oh my God. He calls me and is like, hey, I just wanted to let you know that your, order it's passed and we want to ship it to you. And I was like, great. Oh my God. Awesome. I was beginning to worry about it. I'm super excited. Thank you. Mind you, I was getting my hair done at this time, like getting it cut and colored and processed. So I could kind of hear him, and it was a little bit there was just a communication barrier because of that. So I was like, okay, awesome, I'm super excited. He's like, yeah, so I need your email, and I was like, oh, can I get your email? And it was super complicated because I could not understand him. His C's sounded like V's. It was so stupid. I hated it so much. So he was like, you have to pay for shipping again. I was like, what are you talking about? What you talking about, Willis? What? He said that the USDA does not ship DHL packages. You guys, DHL is one of the biggest shipping companies in the world. UPS, FedEx, USPS, Amazon, biggest shipping companies in the world is also DHL. And our USDA, a government agency, does not ship DHL packages. So I was like, what the fuck? So I was like, okay, fine. He's like, you need to send me a shipping label. You need to create one. I was like, how do I do that? He's like, I don't know. Google it. And I was like,
bro, helpful.
What? So of course I fucking did. Created a UPS shipping label. Cheapest one was $28. You guys, I already paid for shipping. I paid $45 for shipping already through DHL. Okay. So I wanted the plant to be overnighted. So I paid $75 to have it overnighted. I send the email to him right away like he asked, and that they would ship it. Turns out they did not get my email. Well, they did, but they waited on it. So I was supposed to get it on fucking Friday. No. Didn't get it on Friday. Did I get it on Saturday? No. No, did I get it on Sunday? No. I got it on Monday. I paid $75 for 4-day shipping.
It's like a heartbreak. That's like...
Are you kidding me? So I just paid $120 in shipping. Now... Do you understand why I'm now selling these Easy Ravens for $45?
Just gotta make some money back.
I gotta make my money back. Yeah, my $24 back. That does not make up my cost. Anyway, so the order gets in and I'm super stoked. I was off that day. So I was home, readily available to get the plants. Went and got them. They were delivered to our lockers. Got it from the locker. And I opened it. And so I did a full IGTV on my personal Instagram page, and you can go look and see the plants, and maybe we can post about it in the stories a little bit too, but the pictures and stuff. But I would say, okay, here's what I got. I got a philodendron melanochrysum for $25, a philodendron silver sword for $25, a philodendron Florida ghost for $20, a monstera stanleyana for $35, an anthurium magnificum crossed with a crystallianum for $50, an alocasia silver dragon for $35, and I paid for a phytosanitary certificate. Okay. The philodendron mellochrysum's leaf came completely off. They didn't even have leaves. They fell off. I lost 3 leaves on the Florida Ghost. I lost 2 leaves on my alocasia. The Stanleyana, I lost 2 leaves. The anthurium was in good shape. So I was like, great, I'm going to hospitalize these. So usually when I've ordered online, I put them in water under my grow light. So I'm technically like propagating them just so they can get a little bit of water in them. And I've always had great success with this. So that was on Monday this week. What's today? Today's Sunday.
Yeah.
Friday, I noticed, I went over, because I just went and checked. I've been working all week. So I went over and I looked at the plants on Friday. My anthurium is completely fried. Like, it looks like crumpled up pieces of paper on 2 sticks. My Stanleyana is completely rotted sticks. The roots are there, completely rotted off. My Florida Ghost is like yellowing. My silver swords are yellowing in spots. My alocasia is like the only one that's like hanging in there. It did lose like 2 leaves. But I would say out of all the plants, I was surprised that the Alocasia Silver Dragon was like the most hardy and most healthy looking one, because I thought it wasn't going to be because it's an Alocasia.
Yeah, I would have thought that philodendrons would have hung in there, you know?
Yeah, but so that was on Friday, and I kind of like don't know what to do at this point. I just spent over $300 on these plants collectively with everything. Time, anxiety, like, so I don't know what to do. I don't know how to save them. I'll post pictures. You can offer me advice. Maybe it's too late by the time this podcast goes up. But I think I'm going to ask about it on my own personal Instagram. So by the time you hear this, it's already happened. But I've been thinking about it, and I'm going to revisit them tomorrow and try and figure out what to do. Maybe pot them up in soil. Maybe leca. I was thinking about leca.
I know a girl who recently made a joke, but it was true. She like uses a mospidol, but she puts all of her plants that are really struggling in like sphagnum moss.
That's a good. I have never tried that, and I've always wanted to try that. Yeah. So it was just an awful experience. Now we have some friends, Brittany and Patrick.
Yep.
They ordered from Green Spaces. They got their order in like a week.
Yep. They both had really good experiences, actually.
Yeah, really great experience. And I don't think it's so much Green Spaces, but it is more that like they used DHL, didn't get shipped out in time, and like got stuck at customs.
That was really killer.
I think if the plants had not been stuck in customs, they would be fine.
I think so too. That extra 2 weeks was like way too much for them.
Yeah, being in a box and going through all that like manhandling, like I don't want to be manhandled. I would be stressed the fuck out too and want to die. Like, so I think that's kind of what happened. I think in the future, I know Grace wants to do an order from them, but I kind of like, I'm so like jaded right now. I want to like wait, like. Watch, I place an order today. but no, I think I want to wait before I have to order online again. And there's super reputable companies, you guys, out there. But I'm just saying, with this experience going through this company again, it's not their fault, but it did come from them. And that's, you know, why did they get stuck at customs? Was there something that flagged at customs?
Right. Yeah, who knows, you know? And ordering anything international always has that risk, because you do have to have a phytosan certificate and pay extra for that. And it does have to go through customs. And I think we know, you know, U.S. doesn't have the most efficient government agencies. Yeah. Not a little fair?
Yeah.
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 So, yeah. Gotta go through customs.
Yeah.
Totally. That's just such a heartbreak. We'll definitely make sure to share the video so you can watch the Instagram TV of like her actually unboxing it, because you can see how the plants came in and kind of what the roots look like and things like that, which is pretty interesting. But I'm really keeping my fingers crossed. I hope they come back.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm still like really upset that I'm sure you can like hear it. Like I sound really frustrated, and I am like, but at the end of the day, it is just plants. But also, it's money that I spent on plants. So I think it's more like, oh God, like right now, you guys, like I'm super hella broke.
Yeah, it's
so
more
like,
about the money that you invested
yeah,
and then didn't get a return on, you know?
Yeah, and like I'm that person who wants to grow plants and like share the love. Like during the summer, I give so much shit away to people.
She's the best person to invite to your plant swaps.
Yes. So that's what I was like looking forward to, is like growing them and having them ready by summer. But it's fine. I'll revisit it and hopefully I can like you said, what did you say? Hospitalize?
Yeah, put them in a hospital. See if it helps.
I like that.
I think that was Laura. I think Laura's the one that told me that, from Potted and Planty. But I thought that was so good.
That's cute. I like that. That's funny.
So anyway, thank you all for listening to our very ranty, very emotional episode.
Oh gosh. Did you experience any of this? Anybody who lives in Denver or in your region, your state?
Yeah.
Did you get ZZ Ravens? What was that like? Are you part of like a local Facebook group like that where...
Yeah, did everybody lose their minds for a few hours?
Yeah, what was your experience like going through that? Please comment on our post on Instagram talking about the episode. We would love to hear it.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe I think it would be really fun to like share like some people's stories maybe later down the road about it. I don't know, it's so funny.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, especially since they're going to keep coming back. Museicas are coming out at Lowe's, so we're going to see a similar rush for those when they come out. It's going to be an interesting season.
It really is. I'm excited, though, for the season.
Yeah, me too.
Cool.
All right, thank you all for listening. Make sure to follow our podcast, make sure to follow our Instagram for Two Girls, One Plant Podcast. And, of course, we'll go ahead and link our personal Instagrams down below as well.
Yep, and thanks for listening to me bitch and moan.
See y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.